M3.
Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast,
M3.
the number one resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners
M3.
to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
M3.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is L.A. Williams, Vice President with Dealer Synergy, and I am sitting here with the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group. I created the podcast, but man, I'm telling you, we are ready to take this thing to the tippy top. What's going on, Mr. Sean V. Bradley, CSP?
Yo, what's up, people? Man, this is SVB in the place to be, and that is the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. But we're live streaming right now in the Millionaire Car Salesman group. And man, LA, we got something controversial. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to have them goons at me for this title, because the title is the solution to your dealership's high turnover, meaning attrition, and your low quality employees. And yes, I'm talking about you and your dealership. Now, again, I don't mean any disrespect by that, though, but the reality is that we are plagued in this industry with mediocrity. Okay, the average salesperson sells like 9 cars right now, and don't blame it on the inventory, because before the pandemic, it was 9.6. Okay, so we haven't lost that much, but they're making more money than ever. LA, so I want to hear from you, from what's your perspective of the current crisis in the industry when it relates to attrition and things like that.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of key things. Number one, I think finding the right people. A lot of times people have trouble with that because either, number one, they got these high expectations, like they think that someone is going to be just like them, even though they've had 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the industry. Or, they want to take a chance on people just because, somebody maybe took a chance on them. And so they find these super low, never done anything in their lives type of people that really aren't really bringing anything to the table. So I really think there's got to be a balance of some sort. But I think those are some of the major challenges, is that either we try to find somebody that's like us, or we like us now, or try to find somebody like us when we first got started, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. But when that's the only thing you're looking at, you're going to have some challenges.
All right. And just before we get started, because I'm not joking with this, I'm dead ass serious. I want to start with what our credentials and what our background is. A lot of people don't realize, but Dealer Synergy is a recruiting and staffing agency. We've been in business since 2004. We're going on our 19th year, 19 years. And we have literally recruited and successfully staffed over 37,000 automotive professionals all throughout the United States and a little bit in Canada. But it goes more beyond that, LA. Like, me and Karen are certified Franklin Covey trainers and facilitators. We are also, partnered, and I'm certified through Top Grading. Top Grading is an actual HR certification for staffing and recruiting agencies. So I'm not just a car guy that starts recruiting and call myself a recruiter. Like, we're actually certified and trained with this. And if you think about it, when you successfully hire, for us to hire and staff 37,000 Americans, right? 37,000 people we've given opportunities to. You know how many resumes we have gone through? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I don't know if it's been a million yet, but man, it sure feels like it's been millions. But
Exactly.
It's definitely hundreds of thousands of resumes that we've purged through. Yeah. And we've actually, think about all the pay plans that we've seen all throughout the 50 United States that we're working in, right? Think of all the schedules that we've had. And think about this. We don't just do business in the United States. We've done business in Canada, in Russia, in Guam, in it gets more. Okay, in the Dominican Republic, also in the Philippines, and we've worked with these staff. And currently, we've got automotive dealerships in the United States that are outsourcing, not outsource, strike that. They're not hiring another company. They have their own call center that's overseas. So there's a difference. They're not contracting an outsourced BDC to do it. They are their own outsourced BDC. They're hiring a team of call center people in Belize, Dominican Republic, Philippines, Russia, etc. And we at Dealer Synergy have to work with these people. And what we found, LA, is a lot of amazing details and nuggets we're going to get into today. But let me state the problem. Problem number one is there's high turnover. We'll define high turnover. Well, that means that the employees, sales employees, especially BDC reps, is that they don't have a long shelf life. Approximately, there is a 70 to 80% attrition ratio for sales reps. That means if you have 10 salespeople on your floor today, in less than a year, 7 to 8 of those people will no longer work in your sales department or your dealership. Damn. And what's crazy, LA, is that the BDC role, BDC reps, appointment setters, are even higher. It's like an 80+% attrition ratio. So LA, I want to toss it to you. Kind of explain to me, why do you think, and before you do, for the audience that's in the Millionaire Car Salesman group, if you're paying attention here, type in the comments some of the reasons why do you think that people abandon ship, why people quit or people get blown out, and why there's such high attrition. So LA, while our audience in the Millionaire Car Salesman group is going to start tagging up the comments, I want to ask you, why do you think that there are so many people that abandon ship or think the grass is green on the other side? What are some of the challenges or scenarios that people have that they're quitting over?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll break it down like this. First of all, one of the number one things that people think it is, they always think it's money, right? They always think, oh, this person's getting paid more or whatever the case may be, but that's not usually the case. People work for 3 things before money, and I'll give them to you in backwards order. I call it APR. I'm going to give it to you in backwards order. Number one, people work for recognition, right? And so when people are being recognized in other places, they see their name all the time, and, people are recognizing who they are and what they bring to the table. People work for that kind of stuff. And so if you're not recognizing people at your dealership, you're probably going to lose them, right? Even when they talk about people being late, when people's names get called for being late, yeah, it's negative recognition, but it's still recognition, right? Number 2 is going to be praise, right? People, listen, I'm telling you what I know, and I can tell you from personal experience inside our own company, like praising people for the good things that they do means everything to them. It doesn't matter sometimes if you're paying somebody well and you don't tell them that they're doing a good job. They'll talk all that crap about, don't nobody got to tell me good job as long as you're paying me well. Liar, liar, pants on fire, right? And so that's going to be another reason why people leave, is because they're not being praised. And then I'll also hit you with number 1 is appreciation. One of the number 1 reasons why people do anything in this world, I know they say that, 56% of marriages end in divorce because of finances, but really it's because of a lack of appreciation, right? He doesn't appreciate me. She don't appreciate what I do, right? And so when you don't appreciate your people, I'm telling you, they are on their way out the door, especially when they feel appreciated. Think about it. How do you recruit? How do you purge somebody from somebody else? Man, listen, I know they're not treating you right over there. Hey, listen, we really appreciate all that social media stuff you're doing. That's amazing. Could you come teach our dealership how to, that's how like people get recruited, is because they talk that stuff to your people. And so these are the reasons that people are leaving. These are the reasons that people are coming to your dealership. These are the things that we're not thinking about. So those are just some of the top 3 reasons why people are moving around in this industry.
Recap them again, LA.
Okay, so I'll give it to you in the proper order. It's people work for 4 reasons. Number 1, appreciation. Number 2, praise. Number 3, recognition. And then number 4 is money.
Okay, I would agree. And there's been studies. I know that, I don't know if it was UPenn or Temple, I just read not too long ago, did the same thing, concurred with the data that you just said. Yep. It's not money. Now, money is important, but it's not the most important thing. Now, again, it's almost like Maslow has the hierarchy of needs, right? For when you have like food, water, air, and then the last on the list, but still part of the triangle, is self-actualization and being loved. It's the same thing. There's different levels of needs for an employee or a team member, and I think LA, you eloquently articulated them. But let me turn around and put it into like car guy, car girl shit right here.
All right,
you know, some of the things that are really, and this is where it's fucking absurd. I'm sorry. You know what I'm going to say? It's absurd because dealers blow people out because they can't do shit. Oh, this motherfucker can't do this. This person's just stupid. This person, this and that. And then I asked them, I'm like, well, what was your onboarding process? What do you mean? What was your training? Oh, they got the OEM training. We got the road to the sale. I gave them a pamphlet. I gave them an old, video that they watched. I'm like, how are you going to expect somebody to have some type of magical ability to psychically know exactly what you want, how you want it, just because you said it once, or you gave them a pamphlet, or you're waiting on the manufacturer? So I think that there's an unrealistic expectation of people. Like when I first started selling cars 23 years ago, okay, there was a phrase that car sales isn't rocket science. Car sales isn't rocket science. It's not that complicated. I mean, think about all the shit that we need to do nowadays between social medias, with video, with Zooms, with software, with CRMs, with websites, with marketing, advertising, branding, with PR, with podcasts, with social media, with online reputation, with reviews, Google reviews, dealer rate reviews. I mean, there's so many little details that need to happen. And so if you are not training your people right, which I'll get into a little deeper later, you can't really fault them and blow them out. So I think that there's a lot of like crazy expectations. Here's a big one though, on both sides, why people quit and why people get fired: the schedule. I'm going to say this right now. There's an amazing book that Karen loves, our CEO, Karen Bradley, aka Karina Bradley, right? It's called From Good to Great. And in the book, there's a section that I resonate with, where it says, you need to have the right people on the bus, and they need to be in the right seats. I like that. But another part I liked is that you're going to lose people if you've got stupid ass rules for stupid people that you want the good people to follow. So I get it. Every organization creates rules. I'll give you an absurd one. No social media. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how in 2022 going to 2023 are you going to tell your employees, I don't want you on the internet? Well, then you don't want them to make money. Okay, because Frank Creniti from Piazza Honda, he sells over 100 cars a month on the showroom floor, verified. Okay, I don't care if you believe it or not. It is fact. It's not the tooth fairy. It's not, a hippopotamus on a unicycle. It's a real salesperson in Pennsylvania that sells 100 cars a month, and 30%, over 30 units a month, come organically off of this man's Facebook page. Facts. And now you are telling other salespeople that you don't want them to utilize the number one form of communication on planet Earth. And by the way, it's 100% free. I'm not talking about ads. I'm talking about social media. So again, to me, it's utterly absurd at that level is the schedule, okay? Because back in the day, when I first started selling cars, almost a quarter century ago, there was bell to bells. Why? And I get it. If you're not getting 10 cars a month in a 30 or 40 hour work week, you know what I mean? You have to turn around and do what you got to do. So back then, dealerships were open 9 to 9, at least in New Jersey, 9 to 9, Monday through Friday, and then technically 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 on Saturdays. But we would stay open to 9 to midnight if we had to on a Saturday to sell a car. But we did it because, unfortunately, it took a lot longer for the average and mostly below average salespeople to get those numbers. Now, what I don't understand is how in the world, when we have now in December in 2022, the highest grosses ever in the history of our industry, we still have bell to bells and we still have like 6-hour work weeks. I think it's illegal, but I'm in dealerships all over the country. I'm not going to mention any names here. I ain't trying to get the popo on you, during the holiday seasons, but there are people out now that are making their salespeople and their managers work 6 days a week. I mean, like, why would you want to I don't know, drain somebody? Why would you want to put people at risk with their personal relationships, with their family, with their spouses, with their children. You know what I mean? Because if you keep them a slave at your dealership for all that time, they're going to be sad. They're going to be depressed. They're going to have fucked up relationships. They're going to be embattled in divorce. They're not going to be as healthy. You know what I mean? And again, because we're short-sighted. We're looking for the instant gratification instead of developing quality human beings and quality team members, not disposable employees. LA, tag, you're in. What say you?
Absolutely, man. You are on it. And, as you're speaking, it's kind of just reminding me of, how salespeople get promoted to sales manager and managers get, the IT guy gets promoted to the internet director with zero management experience, right? And so now they got these people underneath them that they do not know how to manage. And then we wonder how come people aren't developed or they quit, right? But these are the things that's happening. Everything starts from the top. Leadership is everything, right? And leadership is influence. And so if all you know how to do is sell cars yourself, but you never learned how to manage, you never picked up a book on management, you never asked someone who was a good manager how to manage, right? You don't know what you're doing, right? And so you're ruining good people. I love when you say it, Sean. Go ahead, say it for him right now. I know we had somebody came at your neck over this one. What's the quote?
Did you hire them dead or kill them after you got them? And again, I'm going to give a disclaimer because all these internet trolls are like, oh my God, somebody else said that. I'm like, shit, name something somebody else didn't say, okay? And there's only so many words and so many letters in the English alphabet. There's only so many combinations.
Hilarious.
I mean, somebody else said it, but it's such a powerful statement. Did we hire them dead or kill them after we got them? What does that mean? Does that mean did we hire the wrong people? Did we turn around and wait? Matter of fact, not we. There's no we. I'm not French. We. There's no French here. It's you. Did you wait till the absolute last minute when you are desperate, when you don't have coverage in the internet department, you don't have coverage on the floor, or your employees are stealing from you, or their employees are trying to have sex with each other in the BDC, man, I'm going to keep it real right now. This is my podcast show. I've seen the craziest shit, you know what I mean, that's going on. When you trap people in a dealership for 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, they can't get no booty anywhere else. So they're internally trying to get that shit. No, let's talk about this, man. It's crazy. The shit that goes on in dealerships, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not making it up. I'm a real car guy. I spent almost 6 years in the front lines before I went to the vendor trainer side. And I'm telling you, this shit is real out there. Think about this. Most people, most dealerships, probably you listening and watching this shit, don't recruit until it's too late. What does that mean? Can you imagine being in the middle of the season, like right now? What are we in week 13 in football season? And you're like, you know what? I don't have a quarterback. I haven't had a quarterback this entire year. We've been working on a third string quarterback, but you know what? We'll see how far it gets us. Okay, good luck with that shit, right? That doesn't make any sense. It's absurd. Do you know that there are talent scouts in professional sports that are not going back to just college? Some of these people are going farther. They're going to freshmen in high school or middle school. I just saw on ESPN yesterday, there was an eighth grader that just turned around and won some game, for the high school varsity team. They are scouting freaking middle school people. Do you understand that? Because they want talent. They want talent. You get what you put into it. How many times have you said the same shit to your people? You get out of your career what you put into it. Well, boo-boo, I'm talking to you, okay? You get out of your team what you put into it. If you're not recruiting, if you're not trying to find talent, well, Sean, I don't know how. Well, I'm glad you asked. You're talking to an HR expert right here. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things you could do. Let's start with job fairs. Okay, do you have relationships in your local community with the vocational schools? Do you have in high schools, in alternative high schools, in community colleges, in colleges, universities, and trade schools? Like what, Sean Bradley? Like what say you? How about this? Digital marketing is the number one, social media, digital, internet, BDC is the number one aspect of dealerships. That's the center of the universe, right? So think about this. You could go to these schools and get, you ready for it? Get ready for it? Free employees. They're called interns.
Wow.
Interns. And I know if it's for free, it's for me. So it must be for you as as well, right? So how do I know this? Because I've been doing this shit for years for my own company and for clients that ask me to do this for them. We set up these programs. Yeah, we go into the local. So if you were a dealership in Chicago, we would actually go in and do the audit, the evaluation with what schools, what universities, what vocational programs are by you. We would actually reach out to them and say the magic words. Hi, my name is Sean Bradley. I'm representing ABC Automotive. They're a multi-million, or in some cases, multi-billion-dollar dealer group. And we are looking for interns for website design, graphic design, photography, video production, video editing, hell, even English majors for what? For a blog post, for articles, for content. Okay. And on top of that, right? Think about this. The people that you have that are interns, there's two types of interns. There's paid interns and then there's credit interns. And meaning there's some schools that will not allow their students to receive any money whatsoever because they get work credits instead. But then there are interns that you pay like minimum wage, $10, $12 an hour or whatever it is. Again, I'm sure that we don't really care about paying minimum wage. Some of you might, but I don't mind paying for quality. But the big thing is this. I can't tell you how many college people I've hired that have sucked, that I've had to fire and let go, because a college degree doesn't mean that they're actually intelligent or they have common sense or that they can turn around and transfer that skill to a dealership. It doesn't. It just means that, you've got a college degree and you have a lot of student debt. Just kidding, right? So what we want to be able to do is when we have these interns, we get to mold them, to train them for either free or damn near free. And the good ones we keep. Oh my God, the good ones we keep. And the ones that suck, we just end the intern program. Hakuna Matata, the circle of life. So again, now you don't have to do interns. You could just have freaking relationships with them. I mean, all the freaking money that you dealers spend on dumb shit, like gorillas that wave their hands on tent sales, hell, even toilet paper. That's not stupid. It's important, right? But my point being is, why not allocate a small piece of your budget to sponsoring job fairs? Listen, this might come as an utter shock to everybody listening to this, but I was in a fraternity in college. I was in Zeta Beta Tau, Rho Pledge class at Beta Mu chapter at Rider University. I was a Russian major, cultural anthropology minor. And why? Half of my house was party animals, like literally, and the other half of my house was Army ROTC cadets. I was in the Army ROTC when I was in college. And so guess what? There is a strong network within the fraternities. And they're always looking for sponsors. Okay, so yes, we rather sponsor random shit that's not going to help us. It's just going to make us feel good, or it's a tax write-off. Or you could do both. You could sponsor shit that's going to make you feel good that could actually help your business. Okay, how about sponsoring the sororities at the local universities or colleges by you? Sponsor the fraternities. There's something called Greek Week. You could turn around and sponsor that. You could turn around and have a food truck go there for their events or whatever it is. Now, these schools usually have job fairs or career days. And even if they didn't, you could turn around and sponsor a dealership career day, a dealership, job day, a job fair. Now, you could do that at these universities, these colleges, as vocational stuff, or you could even do it at your dealership on a day off or an off day. Now, for most of the country, Sundays is off because of the state blue laws and things like that. If you are a 7-day work week, then just pick the lowest day that's there. You know what I mean? You don't have a lot of traffic, or you could do an offsite event. But I know a lot of dealers on a Sunday, they'll have a job fair at the dealership. I'm going to repeat that. They'll have a job fair at a dealership. They'll use radio, TV, and print to advertise a job fair at a dealership. Let me go. Let's say I'm on broadcast television or broadcast radio. I would come out and I'd do a commercial just like this. You ready, LA?
Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to do something like this. You ready? Are you tired of your dead-end job? Are you tired of not making enough money for yourself, for your family? It's the holiday season. Are you going to tell your kid that and blame it on Santa Claus when they don't get their presents, or blame it on their behavior where they're not going to get what they want? Well, stop that. How would you like an exciting career where you could make 100, 200, 1,000 plus more dollars, and you don't have to go into financial debt. You don't need to spend years in wasted time or what have you. You can find this type of career in the automotive industry. We've got positions in sales, in finance and insurance. We got opportunities in management, in office, in clerical. We even got jobs in technicians, mechanics. And this might surprise you. We have jobs in digital marketing, video production, social media, etc. Contact us now. Now, obviously, I'm just kind of freestyling for a podcast. I'm freestyling for the Facebook group. If you listen to this on Facebook, if you like the shit that I'm saying, put I like it. I like it a lot in the comments. Because to me, I don't understand why this is not happening. And especially if you're a dealer group, you've got more than one store. If you got 2, 3, 4, 5 stores, you got money, baby. And I see all these P&Ls. I'm a freaking 20 group moderator. You know what I'm saying? I see the financial statements and the ungodly amount of money that dealers are grossing right now. How about allocated instead of the slush funds in the Caymans or in Belize or in Costa Rica? Yeah, I know where you hide your money. You know what I'm saying? Instead of fucking deviating there, how about getting some commercials on broadcast radio, TV, on ads, on OTT, on Hulu and Netflix or what have you? And what you want to be able to do, I know Netflix doesn't do, I'm just kidding, is advertise that you're doing a job fair. Because, here's what blows me away, LA, is that I come in contact all over the country, all over the United States. Every day, people are complaining, I don't have enough people. I don't have enough people. I don't have enough people. But yet, they're pouring fucking money into marketing and advertising. They don't care. It's like they're waterboarding Osama bin Laden back in the day. Oh. They're drowning them people on leads.
Yeah.
They're drowning them on leads. They're waterboarding leads after leads after leads, but they don't have any people. Mm-hmm. But they can't stop. It's like an addiction. It's like they're on the block like, yo, can I get another hit of that lead source provider? Can I get me some auto trader, baby? You know what I mean? For whatever reason, I don't understand it. But instead, they're not tackling the problem. Why are you not recruiting? And why are you not, scouting out for talent? Oh my God. When I tell a manager this, it's like I slapped their wife, dog. It's like I slapped their wife when I said, yo, have you gone out and gone to Best Buy, gone to, when I was a manager, I did that shit. That's my word. I'm not just saying that for this podcast. I would turn around and go to cell phone companies and try to find whoever was really good, try to sell me, back in the day, a Motorola StarTAC phone. I'm going to keep it real. And we didn't have iPhones back then, you know what I mean, like that. But my point is I would recruit people working at, at electronic stores like Radio Shack or Best Buy or what have you. Why? Because if those people had a personality and could sell, shit, I could turn around and train them and make them something in our industry. But instead of doing the things that I'm saying to LA, they rather make excuses. Mm-hmm. They rather make excuses than turn around and actually make solutions. Yeah. LA, what say you?
Yeah, I just finished having a conversation with our little sales pup who's in training, right? I was talking to him. I said, man, everyone wants someone else to be the captain of the ship, right? Because, something happens. Everybody wants to kind of sit back and be like, oh, well, I didn't see the iceberg. I didn't know the wave was coming. I didn't know, and they want everything to be somebody else's fault. But, man, I'm telling you, the moment we decide that everything is our responsibility, we are 100% responsible for what happens in our lives, then that's when we can take control. So I love the things that you're saying, Sean. And I just think it's crazy because people don't take advantage of these simple little concepts that you're breaking down, and then they just want to complain. And then on top of that, they wind up, they say, oh, my people suck. Okay, well, of course, anybody would suck. Sean Bradley himself, right? Give him 600 leads that he got to call every single day. Probably not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? So, but don't come at his neck and say, "Oh, you didn't call this customer, you didn't call that customer." Well, dag, boss, I got so many people to call. How in the world am I supposed to call everybody every day? It's literally
and do
impossible.
A product presentation, demonstration, drive, delivery, and put plates on and shovel out fucking snow. Exactly. Let me jump in, LA. I'm gonna turn around for the people that are on the Millionaire Car Salesman group that we're live streaming right now. As you guys all know, is that we have a major Facebook group, the number one Facebook group in the automotive industry, where we have, again, I'm super proud of this. We have over, you ready, LA? 24,000 members in our group. What I want to do, though, is I want to show you on the Dealer Synergy website. So for the podcast listeners, if you go to dealersynergy.com, if you go to our services, there's a recruiting HR. I'm going to give you guys some free tips here because this is what we do for our dealers. Okay. I mean, like a lot of people are going to be shocked to see all the things that we do for HR. But one of the things I'm going to tell you that dealers don't do is create their own microsite, a full-blown website for just HR. Okay, this is some high-level game I'm giving you right now. If you think about it, this is going to hurt you. Like, oh shit, I never thought of that, Sean Bradley, L.A. Williams. But think about it. Your entire website is not built for anything for recruiting or staffing. It's not. Everything on there is for automotive, mostly inventory. That's the number one place people go to is the inventory. That's the number one dominant thing. That's what VDPs are for, vehicle display pages. So again, if you don't have content on your website for recruiting and for staffing, you're going to be beat. You see what I'm saying? So we've created full-blown websites for our clients that are just recruiting websites. So an example is we've got PennsylvaniaAutomotiveSalesCareers.com. It's an amazing website we did for a dealer group in Pennsylvania that had 3 stores, but we talk about everything like on there from women in automotive, diversity, inclusion, careers for military, law enforcement, first responders. We talk about alternatives like for career choices, for college, everything's there. We talk about value package propositions, not why to buy a car from us, but why work for us. Now, here's the thing. Think about it. If we create content, everybody should know at this point that content is really important. You want this is regular one-on-one stuff. You want to have fresh content on your dealership website. You want blog posts because they're fresh. You want, meta tags, keywords, pictures, optimize. You want to have, specifics, details, on each and every one of your pieces of your inventory, and then each and every one of those pieces of your inventory conquesting each and every one of their competitors. And all that is content for the search engines to index. So I would recommend that you develop a HR website. Now, LA and I talked before this podcast that if anybody is interested, I will do a free consult for you on what I'm talking about. I'll do a one-on-one session, first come, first serve. I'm only going to do 100 of these. That's it. And that might sound like a lot, but they're only 30 minutes. So again, I'll knock these out over a couple week period. I want to try to help as many dealerships as I can. Yeah. No obligations, but I'm going to give you like a do-it-yourself kit. If you want us to help you, great, but I'll give you a do-it-yourself kit. The second thing is videos. Okay. Again, the second thing is videos. Video is the highest form of communication. You got sight, sound, motion, and emotion. Why are you trying to sell something as important as a career? And unless you want somebody to leave every 3 to 6 months, you want these people to stay. So what you're telling me is you want somebody to commit to their life, you know what I mean, or decades potentially with your organization that's going to affect themselves, their families, their kids, etc. And the best you got is a little line item in some bullshit recruiting, website or Career Builder or Monster or ZipRecruiter or something like that. I mean, for the love of God, you love making commercials, you love seeing yourself on camera, and you love hearing yourself on the radio. Why don't you do a powerful HR video, recruiting and screening? Okay. Again, I've got a whole bunch of them. I got 30-second ones. I got 60-second ones. I got 15-second ones. I got 2-minute ones, etc. Here's just a snippet of one of those right now.
We're hiring at the Nielsen Automotive Group. We are New Jersey's preeminent dealer group. We have 6 dealerships all over North Jersey, in Rockaway, in Sussex, in East Hanover, and in Dover. So if you're looking for an exciting career in showroom sales, internet sales, phone sales, BDC, or even management, sales management, internet director, etc., reach out to us. If you're currently working at a dealership with a proven track record of success, but you're not making the money that you want, need, and most importantly, deserve,
got to take your people
to us. And even if you don't have any automotive experience whatsoever, but you'd like to turn and have an opportunity to make as much money as you can earn, reach out to us. We have an incredible training program, and we are willing to train the right people. If you've got experience in collections, in sales, in customer support, in telemarketing, reach out to us. We understand in our organization that people are our greatest assets. We didn't build $100 million plus organization by accident. We have the recipe. You are the ingredient.
Ooh, that's
and a
good.
matter of fact, to go above and beyond the amazing pay plan, the compensation, the benefits, the amazing atmosphere, being part of a winning team, there's more. We are going to give a $3,000 up to a $3,000 cash sign-on bonus. That's right. For the right individuals, they get up to an additional $3,000 as a signing bonus. And even if this amazing opportunity isn't right for you, but you know somebody would be a great fit, would be an asset to our team, we'll pay you $1,000 as a referral fee. That's right. So again, let me repeat that. If this opportunity isn't for you, don't worry. But if you know the right person, let us know. And if we hire that person, we'll pay you $1,000 for that person. So again, reach out to us. We'll go over all the details. Thank you. And we look forward to you being part of it.
And LA, that one was like a webmercial. That was for social media, for their website, for their dealership recruiting website. I'm going to show you one that we did for like a $1 billion dealer group, man. Like this is like that 14 stores.
Yeah. It's crazy. I know it's a lot of stuff. And as a matter of fact, you know, we've got a dealer who we did some HR for. Let me let y'all hear what she had to say real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I just hired 8 people, and Naima at Dealer Synergy HR really was critical in me being able to do it. It's not just basically she's going to rewrite the ad in a way that we as car people don't think to write the ad. She's writing it from the psychological point of view of the person who's applying, and we're trying to think about how we as a business are selling ourselves, which is often not the same things. She was able to attract a lot better quality candidates than she would pre-screen them for me. She would set appointments up, that I would have an interview here, and I would have an excellent candidate. So I highly recommend it, because running a store, I got enough on my plate, enough to do. And having a pre-screened candidate appear at my door is fabulous. So I can't recommend Dealer Synergy HR enough.
All right, watch this. This is one we did for broadcast television. This is 30 seconds for broadcast television.
Hey, they're hiring at Division Automotive Group. They just built a multi-million-dollar customer development center, and they're looking for the best of the best showroom sales consultants, internet sales, and BDC reps to staff their department. They know that high-level employees provide the best customer experience. They invest in their people and their training. They provide you with opportunities for unlimited income, flexible hours, full benefits, and an advanced career path. If you currently work in a dealership and you're not making the money that you need, want, and deserve, call them now.
So as you see, those are professional, commercials that are for either broadcast television, or they're for social media, or for your dealership's website. But as you can see, this is really important. The bottom line is that we're actually being proactive using sight, sound, motion. You could put ads on these things. You could put them on Facebook. You could put them on Instagram. You could put them on LinkedIn. You could put them on TikTok, wherever people and candidates are at. LA, I want to give another power tip that most people don't realize is that, and I learned this from Top Grading. Okay, so shout out to Top Grading. It's an amazing recruiting certification company that most people, you'll be shocked to know, but the number one place that they go to if they're really interested in employment, can you guess where that is, LA?
Where?
The actual place of employment. So if I'm looking at a potential job at, let's just say, RK Kia, it's where my daughter works, very good friends of ours, long-term client, almost a decade, right? Mm-hmm. So if I wanted to go to RK Kia, I'm going to work at RK Kia. I'm going to go to RK Kia and I'm going to see what I could find. I'm also going to look for reviews on RK Kia, not Google reviews, not Yelp reviews, but specifically, you ready for this? Indeed.com reviews and Glassdoor.com reviews. See, I cannot believe, LA, that in 2022, going into 2023, most dealerships, the vast majority of dealerships, don't realize that they should be claiming their pages for Glassdoor and Indeed and customizing them with content. Okay, just like how back in the day you needed to claim your Google page, you needed to claim your Yelp page, and you needed to put work into customizing the page, getting people to review. Well, here's the thing. You really need to claim your Glassdoor page for your dealership. Claim your Indeed.com page. What does that mean? You have to, like, an owner of that dealership or manager needs to claim it, get it authorized, and then you need to put like graphics on there, and you need to get your employees to start leaving reviews. I mean, think about this. If I'm going to make a decision of employment, I want to know if I'm going to work for a good company, if I'm going to work for somebody that's going to be fair, there's opportunities, that's going to treat me right, et cetera, et cetera. And you can't really believe what the interviewer person says, you know what I mean? Because they're trying to hire you. And just like interviewers can't necessarily just believe what you're going to say because you want to get hired. That's the whole point of asking for references from our employment interviewees, you know what I mean, is give me references. Why? Because I want to make sure what you're telling me is real and I'm getting what you're telling me I'm going to get. Well, it's the reverse engineering of that. You need to be able, this is like dealership references, if you will, if that makes sense. You need to start with your best, happiest employees, your managers, the people that have been there for a long time. Here's another thing that you can do too, is get all of the charitable people, you know what I mean, that work with you. Do you follow me? So, like, let's say you do something with the Little League team or St. Jude's or Toys for Tots, have them leave a review. Oh, I love working with this. They do all this stuff with the community. They do this stuff with here. You want to paint the biggest PR, public relation image that you are the most incredible, altruistic, benevolent organization and fun to work for. I mean, again, because if there's no content there, there's nothing to get excited about. Sales is transfers of energy. That's why I was saying, if you don't have an HR website, if you're not constructing HR sand traps, so you will, for your potential hires to get stuck on and start to surf out to, then you're just hoping that they just choose you randomly.
Yeah.
LA, can you elaborate on this?
Absolutely, man. I think that people don't, and here's the major challenge is that make sure that it's authentic, right? Don't say that you got a fun dealership to work for and then everybody's in there all long faced. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to work out, right? Don't take the picture of everybody smiling. It's like a friend of mine said, oh my gosh, this gentleman, he went to hell and it was all this party and everything was going on and it was just everything was amazing, and then he went to heaven and it was like all this, everything was tranquil, was sweet. He was like, I mean, this is nice up here and everything, man, but I'd rather go to hell. And so he goes to hell, and it's like all this fire and brimstone and everything. And he's like, wait, what happened? He like, oh, you must have came during hiring day. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't allow that to be your dealership, right? Make sure that whatever you're putting out there is something that's absolutely real. And it should be a fun place to work. I specialize, Sean. I'm always in different internet departments. Y'all like to call them BDCs, right? And I'm in this place. It's dry. It's no music. It's no fun. Like it takes so long to get somebody on the phone, and then people deal with rejection all day long, and you got a dry environment. That's not going to work when it comes to HR, man. You got to make sure that you have an environment that not only you would want to have fun with, but you got to make sure it's an attractive environment for the people who you want working for you. So that's what I got to say.
LA, I love it. And look, before we wrap, I want to just talk about a couple of quick things. Okay. Guys, think about this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're at the dealership, you know how you have a multi-leveled marketing strategy. You have leads coming from the OEM. You've got leads that are coming from your website. Now, some of them are organic, but some of them you're driving traffic through SEO, SEM, content management. Then you have OTT, over the top, for videos, for streaming. You got pre-roll for YouTube. Then you've got all these third-party providers. Then you got social paid ads, and you got social organic. Then you got, geofencing. Then you've got retargeting. Then you've got traditional. You got radio, TV, print. You got billboards, you got magazines. Do you guys get the picture? Then you got word of mouth. Then you got community involvement. I could go on and on and on to the break of dawn. You know what I'm saying? But again, you've got a lot of diversity just for an up. Okay, use that strategy. I mean, my people, my car people, you're built for this shit, man. You know what I mean? Like you're built, you already have the genetic code ingrained into your DNA of how to generate quality employees. You're just not activating it, man. It's like Jurassic Park. You're like in that what was that emerald, or that the mosquito was in that glass thing as a fossil type stuff. That's where you got it's bottled up right now. But let me crack that shell and let's get you cracking, people. Because think about it. Why don't you have a diversified strategy, a multiplicity strategy for HR? You should be doing Career Builder, Glassdoor, Indeed, Monster. Okay, these are like the lead source providers, but you need your own website. Just like if your own website for your other profit centers, like for sales, new car, used car, service, body shop, F&I, parts, aftermarket, etc. You need a website or a microsite for HR recruiting and staffing for your people. Then what do you need to do? You need to drive traffic to that website with SEM, SEO, again, with pre-roll, with social paid ads, with organic, with TV, radio, print, etc. The more that you put into this, the more that you're going to get out of this. If you have an HR problem, then make HR not a problem by attacking it like you do anything else, with a strategy and with commitment and time and money. Listen, I say this all the time. You can tell what's important to people by where they spend their money and they spend their time. So let's go into it.
Not too much.
I'm gonna close on this statement right here.
All right.
How much time are you spending on a recruiting strategy? How much time are you personally, as the owner, as the GM, as the GSM, as the sales manager, as the internet director, as the BDC director, how much time, F&I manager, fixed ops manager, etc., office manager, how much time are you personally involved in the recruiting strategy? You know, not just like talking about it in some bullshit meeting. I'm talking about actually executing, trying to find people. How much are you using all your resources out there, like I've mentioned in this podcast? Okay. And then how much money are you spending it? Because the average dealership spends over $60,000 a month in advertising to generate X amount of leads. And then they spend literally on a consistent basis, less than $1,000 a month on recruiting. Okay. So again, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. LA, take them home.
Absolutely. And so, Sean, you're making me think about, how people don't, pour themselves into what it is. They don't want to put that personal touch on it, but yet there's a human being who is the billionaire customer service rep named Elon Musk, right? He's, constantly involving himself, touching the people, right? People be like, you so high and mighty, like you can't, go find and hire and train somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of the game if you want to have a phenomenal organization. So, let me do this because, Sean, I heard you say that you would do, about 100 consultations HR-wise. And so I'm going to personally count these things. We're not going to lead this up to the team, right? So just shoot me a text message. Y'all can reach me 267-551-6279. Again, 267-551-6279. Just text me the letters HR, and then I'll communicate with you and get one of these consultations set up with Sean, because I know listening to Sean sometimes is like, drinking from a fire hose. So let's go ahead and get these things taken care of. All right, listen, y'all know how this thing goes. I always say every time, you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. And you've just been spending time with the blind master, L.A. Williams, and the one and only millionaire car salesman, Mr. Sean V. Bradley, CSP. It's your turn. Go out there and be a millionaire car salesman. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace. So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the millionaire car salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by AutoWeb. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.